And welcome to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julian Lee. It is the middle of summer, and quick shout out to all of our new followers, all of the new subscribers. We appreciate you guys, and I think you're going to get something out of today's episode. Julie, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. A little warm still, a little hot, but you know, nothing that a pool can't cure or, cold drink or whatever. But July is killing me. Well, and before we jump into the topic real quick, something went really wrong in June for me.
What was
I
it?
mean, not super wrong, but I mean, wrong enough. So I counted the amount of days that I was working, and I knew we were short staffed at my full time job, right?
Okay.
And I went back on the calendar, and I mean, there were people out on vacation, people were out on an event, so we were short staffed, and we're already a small staff. Out of the 26 days, that it was my last day in June was like the 29th or something, right? I worked 21 out of 26 days
Okay.
where I was there. I was like, that's really wrong. I knew that stretch was a lot, but I was like, guess I'm paid for that. So, okay, you deal with it. But 21 out of
Right.
26 days, I was like, and then I started thinking, is this how regular people work? is this, is that a thing? Like, I like having days off, but anyway, yeah. That was rough. 21 out of 26 days, you know?
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But vacation coming up, so I'm good. I'm good. And
There
vacation in
you go.
August. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Ugh. I'm having palpitations thinking about it. Like 21 days. I was like, what? I, I even was off one day and took enough phone calls for it to count for half a day.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that's crazy. I took enough phone calls that I counted a half a day.
Wow. So did it count as a half a day for you?
Oh, damn straight.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It wasn't just in my mind. I like when the supervisor who does the schedule when he came back, I was like, yeah, check your email because I gave you the list of the days that I wasn't scheduled that I was working. A couple of them were like 12-hour days too. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got the credit for it for sure,
Good.
for sure.
Good for you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Not working for free. Not doing that. Not doing that. But Ed, let's get into today's topic, and that is learning the art of surrender. Anything you would like to share or add before we get into the information about surrendering?
No, let's go ahead and get it started.
All right, let's do it. So this article came from tinybuddha.com, and this is a great quote, right? You must learn to let go, release the stress. You are never in control anyway. It's from Steve Maraboli. And Dr. Amy Johnson is the author of this article. And so she starts talking about how she noticed things go much more smoothly when she gave up control, when she allowed them to happen instead of making them happen. But like a lot of us, she said she was terrible at this. So although she has learned to be better, she's a bit of a control freak. And she often used her perfectly good energy to plan, predict, and prevent things that she could not possibly plan, predict, or prevent. And I feel that deeply as a former control freak. I feel that. So, for example, she was worried about her baby and getting some sleep or getting a proper nap when they travel. So, the baby's going to be crabby if she didn't. She tried to think through all the travel plans, how to get the napping patterns, trying to figure it out, and when the baby was going to get to sleep. And she also thinks about the weather, right? Especially when out of town guests are visiting. Spending her limited time planning for every possible weather and mood combination when considering the guest's itinerary. So I'm sure, like she was saying here, like most humans, she spends a lot of time in business that's not mine. The baby business, the friend's business, Mother Nature's business. As a recovering control freak, there are three things that she knows for sure about trying to control things. But before we get into those things, I feel that deeply. Trying to control things. I feel that. And if you let go of the reins just a little bit, you control your own stress. I, whew, yeah,
Well,
covering.
I mean, just just even on the mom thing, the mom piece at all. So
Mhm,
when you're talking about trying to control where your baby falls asleep or making sure that they fall asleep, you're setting yourself up for failure right there and then. Because if you don't, quote unquote, teach your baby to fall asleep anywhere, you're going to have a problem with a child who cannot sleep anywhere. You
you
know,
will never be able to travel.
you won't be able to travel. You're going to have a situation where they're going to
Mm,
have the right climate to sleep at all times. And
right,
so then you
right.
feel so bad when you're watching these parents struggle with kids who can't fall asleep because they have to have the perfect situation in order for
Mhm.
that child to fall asleep. Like
Or no
I
noise,
always
the perfect blanket, the 69.5 degrees, and the
and
binky, and
I always feel bad for those parents because you can't tell them differently. You
true,
can try
true.
to just tell them, you know what, that's probably not the best thing to do. Just, you know, let your baby go down wherever the heck they want to go down kind of a thing. Because it's
If
like
they're on the floor and their butt is up like this, they're asleep.
then
Let
that's
them
where it's
lie.
going to happen. That's where it's going to happen. Because I'm going to tell you right now, everyone used to be so impressed. Your kids can fall asleep anywhere. And I'm like, yep.
Because they don't have no choice. If they're
Like, they don't,
sleepy,
they're
yeah,
asleep, they're going to go down.
we're doing something or I'm doing something, they're gonna go to sleep. But you also brought up a good point too. Like you have to teach them or train them how to help themselves go to sleep, right?
Right, right,
As if you run and pick them up every time, if they fall asleep on you and they don't go down like on a couch or floor, whatever, right?
right,
They're always going to need that to go to sleep.
right,
Yeah,
right, right,
that's tough. But well, trying to control weather too, right?
right.
I I like how she put being in business that's not yours.
Yeah.
Being in business that's not yours, the baby business, the weather business, the friend's itinerary. Hey, you know what? I gotta go to work. Y'all do what you gotta do. I'll see you after get off work. Like, can't plan for that. Can't predict that at all.
Right, right, right.
Mm-mm. What business are you in? Oh, that's good. So the three things that she pointed out that we always try to control. First one is we try to control things because of what we think will happen if we don't control it. In other words, the control is rooted in fear, right? The second thing that she points out is control is a result of being attached to a specific outcome, an outcome that we're sure is best for us, as if we always know what's best. When we trust that we're okay no matter what the circumstance, well, no matter what circumstances come our way, we don't need to micromanage the universe. We let go. We open ourselves to all sorts of wonderful possibilities that aren't there when we're attached to the one right path. The third thing that of reasons why we try to control things is the energy of surrender accomplishes much more than the energy of control. What control Here's control mode looks like this, or for her it looks like this. Her vision gets very narrow and focused. Her breath gets shallow, the adrenaline starts pumping, and her heart rate increases. her mind would shift from topic to topic and from past to future. And then there would be very little concentration, poor memory, and no present moment awareness at all. So in surrender mode, she would be calm and peaceful, deep breathing, or at least just breathing regularly, and present in the moment. She can see clearly, and the vision extends out around her, and it would allow her to see the bigger picture. So the irony in that is that attempting to control things actually feels less in control. And when the micromanaging and obsessing over details, she's in her own way. So I get that 100%, right? Like it's almost like when you're talking about something physical, like a piece of iron or something, and the tighter you hold it, the tighter you bend it, pretty soon it's gonna break, right? But
Right.
like that is an extreme amount of energy to hold on so tight and to take up all of that space and energy and thought process that you're doing. Man, it's almost like the episode we've done a couple years ago, the let them theory, right?
Mhm. Correct.
Let them.
Yeah.
You,
Right.
it's very similar to what you were saying about the problem with the baby. There's been like sometimes you just gotta let them sleep where they're gonna sleep. Like you're gonna drive yourself insane trying to control every little thing. And I speak from experience of trying to control every little thing. I get it. Like it takes up way too much energy, you know?
Correct.
I was gonna say before we go to break, is there anything you'd like to add about uh being in control or hold the reins too tight or not holding the reins at all?
I mean, I think also, I mean, I know we're talking about surrendering control. I also
Sure.
think the idea of surrendering to forgiveness too. I think people, you get the whole forgive or forget kind of thing. But when
Sure.
you truly surrender to what is your forgiveness, you tend to let go of what it is that actually hurt you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You might be able to still tap into the emotion that you had, but you might not be able to remember exactly what happened. So
Sure.
that's how you can almost know that you surrendered into the actual ability to forgive, because you can't honestly remember exactly what happened. You just remember how it made you feel. Because I've been
Hmm.
into situations now where like I've let a lot of things go and I
Right.
can just remember how they made me feel, but I can't
Hmm.
honestly remember exactly what
Exactly
happened.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of being like, yeah, I know wasn't too happy about that, like about whatever, but I'm ready to like let it go, like whatever it
It
was.
it didn't trigger you anymore. It's
Exactly,
no longer. Yeah.
exactly. Right. So
Yeah.
to hold on to it
Hmm.
is, learning to basically to surrender to the actual forgiveness. There is to the ability to actually surrender to the actual ability of forgiveness. And it's just kind of like, okay, like I'm good. Like the energy
It's freeing to.
yeah, the energy of
Yeah.
actually holding on to that is just kind of like, yeah, and I'm not down with that anymore. So it's
Well, because it doesn't serve. It doesn't. What purpose does it serve? Right. I was
no
gonna say it
at
doesn't serve you,
all.
but yeah, what purpose does it serve? And I like the way you put that. It's the ability to surrender to forgiveness.
Mhm.
I've been there too, right? Where those things in the past that triggered you, and you feel everything that you felt at the moment it happened, right? That
Right,
means you haven't surrendered to forgiveness yet. And
right,
and we're not talking about like forgiving someone. We're not saying that. That's a whole separate topic. But being able to, like you said, let go and surrender to the fact of, okay, this happened, but it no longer needs to control my actions in the present.
moving
You know?
forward. Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
by not being able to be triggered by that. It's a huge win. Huge
Right.
win for you personally. So,
Right. Facts.
man. Well, on that note, let's take a break. And when we come back, we will talk about how to actually practice surrendering. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, welcome back from the break. This is the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, a conversation with Julie and Lee. Before we continue with the learning the art of surrender, just want to give a shout out to all of our new followers and subscribers. Really appreciate you guys. Tune in to, we'll put the links at the end of the show. But there's Facebook you can watch on YouTube or watch on Spotify. So really appreciate all you guys subscribing and tuning in. Like being here with you, and hopefully you guys get something out of it as well. So, Julie, shall we continue with the art of surrendering?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, surrender literally means to stop fighting. Stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting the universe and the natural flow of things. Stop resisting and pushing against reality. Surrender equals complete acceptance of what is, plus faith that all is well, even without my input. It's not about inaction. It's about taking action from that place of surrender energy. I just wanted to come out here real quick because that's a really good definition of like what surrender is. I'm gonna put the slide back up just so like we can talk about that. It's really good. Complete acceptance. That's the hard part. Complete acceptance and having faith that all is well without my input. So you're telling me I don't have to have input and everything's gonna be okay? That's what you're telling me? I don't have to do one more thing for it to be okay?
It's a big good luck with that.
I'm just saying I can't be the only one who feels that way. So that's the faith that you have to have that it's going to turn out okay without your input.
Yes.
So, if letting go of control and surrendering not only feels better, but actually produces better results, then how do we do that? Sometimes it's as easy as noticing that you're in control mode in choosing to let go consciously and deliberately shifting your energy into surrender energy. So, for example, when she became aware that she was in control mode, she imagines she's in a small boat paddling upstream against the current. That's hard. It's a fight. That's what control mode feels like to her. When she chooses to let go and surrender, she visualizes the boat turning around. She drops the oars in rowing in and she floats downstream. She's being gently pulled. No effort is necessary on her part. Simply breathing and saying, let go of the oars is usually enough to get her there. So I got a quick question for you, Julie, before we move on. What does control mode feel like for you? Or surrender mode for that matter?
What does control mode
Hmm.
look like for me? Well, I mean, I haven't been working for a while. So, control mode is non-existent, and it's been a beautiful thing. Really living that let it flow type of thing has been
Nice.
nice. Um, I would have to say control mode in the past has been
Hmm.
exhausting. Um,
Mm. Hmm.
the essence of trying to premeditate every step and trying to be
Hmm.
prepared for every possible
Every variable.
variable and putting out every possible fire.
Hmm.
It's exhausting, and knowing that you're responsible for that is like probably the most exhausting part, because
Mm.
it was just, I don't know, that, yeah, control mode is awful,
Con-
awful and exhausting.
well, I was gonna say that's why I offered you the what does surrender mode look like?
Surrender is beautiful, it's peaceful. I would, I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I would like to say that I generally bring an energy to most
Mm-hmm.
projects that I do, or that, people that I'm around or what have you.
Hmm.
And that energy was almost non-existent for a minute.
Mm.
And now I feel like that energy is back, and I feel like a whole person again. And so surrender has definitely made me feel like I'm me again, type of a thing. And so
That's huge.
that
That's a
that
big
feels
deal.
that feels
That's
great.
yeah.
That feels awesome.
We're not trying to give you coach speak, y'all. That's real. That's real deal. No, but that's a big deal. You said you feel like a whole person. Like again,
Correct.
like you feel the energy back.
Yes.
That's if you keep in control mode, like it just it continues to chip away at that, right?
Correct.
And then there's, dare I say, nothing to get back, right? If you keep
Correct.
chipping away at it, while not quite the surrender mode that you've been feeling, I do understand that because I had to back away from some of the things I was doing, right? There would be a 2-3 week stretch, excuse me, where I would have, excuse me, one day off, like one full complete day. And I realized that's not sustainable for me. And so I had to back off of some of the Weight Watchers coaching, had to back off some of the personal training in order to get to a bit more of surrender mode, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
because it when it's not sustainable and you have one 24-hour period in 30 days, okay, maybe not 30, but like 21 days, you're no good for anybody on that day.
Right.
And
Right.
so it just was not sustainable for me at all.
Right. Right.
So I get that 100%.
Yeah. And I will have to say, in my lifetime, I've been broken
Mhm.
and have been able to bounce back. And I've had that happen in my life a few times, between,
Mhm.
childhood, your parents getting divorced, you're broken. I mean, that's reality.
Mhm. Mhm.
A death in the family, you're broken, you bounce back,
Absolutely.
things like
Yeah.
that. But like this time around, as you guys all, I think we've talked about it in there, I actually was physically broken, you know, and to have been
Yeah.
physically broken and really like what we were just talking about with it being
Mhm.
like letting things go and just saying it's going to be what it's going to be, and
Mhm.
I think that's what happened for me in January was I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this for myself type of a thing.
Right.
And it was just
Right.
kind of like spiritually, I'm just at a whole different place than I was in any other time that I've ever felt quote unquote broken. You know
Broken.
what I mean? Like I feel,
Totally. Totally.
yeah, I feel so whole right now that
Mhm.
I don't think, heaven forbid, I don't. Let me knock on some wood because I feel like anytime I say anything like wonderful or what
Yeah.
have you,
Where's that second shoe,
that
right?
shoe,
Well,
here comes that
we'll just make
shoe.
sure we rent an apartment for you in Miami in the wintertime. Okay. Well,
But I mean, I do.
yeah.
I think when you do, you just surrender, you let things go, and
Mhm.
realize that there is a higher power, and you're going to figure it out. You just have faith that you're going to figure it out. You're going to There is a plan whether you know it or not, and I strongly believe that you are placed where you are placed because God heard conversations that you did not hear and removed you from places that you did not need to be. Period.
Ooh. Amen.
So
Wait. Say that again for the people in the back who didn't hear that.
you heard me. You heard what I said.
God removed you from places because he heard conversations that you didn't, and you didn't need to be there. So he's like, Julie, come sit down. I'm gonna need you. Oh, wait, no. He said, Lee, come sit down. I need you. But
But
truth,
no,
truth
it
in
was,
everything you said. Yeah.
when you got to move on, you got to move on, period. And
Yeah.
so I, you just learn to prioritize other things in your life. So,
Preach. Amen. Mic drop. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's the gold, folks. I love
oh,
it. I love it. Well, I mean, speaking of that, right? What you were learning to let go. Another thing that you can ask yourself is, what am I afraid will happen if I let go of control? So when you're able to pinpoint the fear and and question the validity, ask yourself, is it true? If you're afraid that the night will be ruined, if you're, I mean, I've had this happen to my boyfriend, but if your boyfriend doesn't remember to pick up the eggplant and you're already reminded him 14 times, question that assumption, right? But can you really know how the night would be ruined without the eggplant? And would it be ruined by your definition? And what would be so bad about that? And no, folks, I've never had my boyfriend pick up eggplant. Okay, that's a joke.
I mean, if you're making eggplant parmesan, I think it would be a problem.
or maybe the night's not ruined. You just order pizza. Like, I mean, you're right. You
True.
go with
True.
the. But if you had the taste for eggplant parmesan, then maybe the boyfriend need to go buy some before you come home, or
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
But I get that you got to question: is it really going to be the end of the world? Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yep. And so, um, find out whose business you're in. I love this. We talked about in the first segment. You're in the business. Your business is the realm of things that you can directly influence. Are you there, or are you in someone else's business? When we're trying when we're trying to control things outside of our own business, it's not going to go well. I I have been using this like, whose business am I in? Oh, Lee, stay in your lane because
Right.
your lane is over here and that business is over there. I got to share this real quick. And so I think I've shared about some coworkers from time to time. And, I've been tasked to train them on some certain things
Hmm.
because I know how to do things that they should know how to do, but they don't. Okay. Well, I've done that. I've done the training and I gave in to surrender because it's not my job to figure out what they're going to take notes on or how they're going to remember it. I did what I was supposed to do, and I was in my own business by doing what I was asked to do.
Hmm.
I trained what they take from it, what they remember from it, not my business.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been practicing surrendering at work. One of the other things that you can help you learn to surrender is consider this. Would letting go feel like freedom? It almost always would. Letting that feeling of freedom guide you toward loosening your grip. That's a big one. So wrapping up, Einstein, who shares a birthday with a brilliant person on this podcast, Einstein said the most wait, that's me, you guys. Yes, that's me.
Yeah.
I, I just gotta let them know. Like, shares birthday with a brilliant, you know.
Jesus.
But Einstein said that the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. So being receptive and allowing things to happen is a skill that can be practiced and improved upon. It helps to believe in a friendly universe, one that is supporting you at every turn, so that you don't have to worry yourself over the details. We can always choose to do things the easy way or the hard way. We can muscle through or we can let go of the oars and let the current carry us downstream. Man, brilliant. Did I mention Einstein shared a birthday with one of the hosts? I I will give you any final thoughts on learning to surrender.
I mean, as hard as it is,
Mhm.
I think it's it makes for an easier life.
Mm,
Once that you've released, when you're finding that it's so much more of a struggle when you're trying to control. It really is. I mean,
mhm,
the more you release, the more you surrender, the more you let go, you find that it's more flexible. Like
mm,
you just find it's just easier. And
mhm.
it's so funny because I was just talking about this earlier. I find like I've been able to talk myself out of things a lot easier as of lately. Like, oh, I really don't want to do that. Or, oh, should I have said I would do that? I don't know, like kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And then something will happen. And then I don't have to do it. It's just like, oh, okay. Like,
Friendly universe. It's supporting you as you
all
go
I
along with freedom.
like all I had to do was manifest it. Like I said, I don't really want to do that. But just knowing that, well, it's okay, first of all,
Mhm.
to not say yes to everything, but at the same time, what you do say yes to, make sure it's something that you want to give the energy to, and give your
Absolutely.
energy to specifically. But I just it it is so much easier to let go of the hard things, or like you and I
Mhm.
have talked about that before, prioritizing things and making sure
100%.
that you're doing the things that you actually want to do versus
Yep.
the things that you feel like you're struggling to do. Like if it's
Or that
something
you
you're
have to
constantly
do.
procrastinating, or you're feeling like it's an obligation, or like then
Mhm.
maybe it's something you're not supposed to be doing, and it's okay to let it go. So
Yep.
I think that's something that we should honestly sit down with ourselves like quarterly and make sure we're doing things that are feeding our souls and not eating away at our souls, like period. So
Ooh,
that's my 2 cents.
we're leaving it there. Do the things that are feeding your soul and not eating away at your soul. Oof.
Yes.
Mm-mm. Hey, y'all, that's the mic drop. That is the episode. but you're so true. I have nothing to add to that. 100%. 100%. You can find us. We got a Facebook page, Cruising with the Coaches. You can find us on Spotify right there. Go to Spotify, search the Live All Good podcast. You can also subscribe. Go to the YouTube page. You can get all the episodes in full. You can see short outtakes that we get kind of crazy with, or some of the questions that we've come up with. All kind of fun, but it's all there on the YouTube page. And I really hope you guys consider doing the things that feed your soul instead of the things that are eating your soul. Until next time, Lee and Julie signing off.